mobile radio system is the countywide system in Powhatan County that gets the emergency communications information from the 911 center to the appropriate agency, whether it be Sheriff's Department, Fire Department, EMS, that gets information back and forth on site of emergencies.
The land mobile radio system that was just implemented was improved dramatically and completely changed. Now what that basically means is that we can communicate everywhere in the county.
We were very happy to get the new LMR system in. It enhanced my guys' capabilities of being able to be outside of the car and still communicate with their dispatch. We do most of our work outside of our car, not in our car. So having periods of time that we were unable to communicate while we're inside of buildings or out on the side of the road dealing in traffic accidents or just making a general arrest, we should not have had with our old system to switch over to occasionally having to use our cell phones to actually communicate with our dispatchers. That's not instantaneous, and it's difficult to have your hands tied up while you're trying to deal with people sometimes that don't necessarily be dealt with. And this new system has enhanced the safety of my deputies.
That two-way conversation is critical for the outcomes of the citizens. We have to have that ability to transfer information adequately, efficiently, without interference. The old system did not provide that to us. We only had around 40-45% coverage in the county when we're standing outside. Often what happened was we could not hear the communication officers, could not hear the officers in the field, firefighters, EMTs, and that communication was strained, was static. It was often, I had to repeat. People often had to go outside to communicate, stand on the porch. The new system, now we have certain requirements that have been met that the majority of the buildings here in the county, an officer, firefighter, EMT, does not have to go outside. Can stay inside, communicate directly without having an interference, static, repetition, or anything like that. That system also has trumped. When I mentioned trumped earlier, it's almost like when you dial 911. You just dial 911. You don't realize there's 8 lines tied to that. There's 8 different paths that can get to the communication officer, but it's transparent to the 911 user. It's the same as in the trunk system. The trunk system is dedicated to allowing different conversations and splitting up that conversations over, in this case, 8 different talk paths. That allows us to have a lot more capacity for now and the next 20 years.
Aside, a lot of the issues we had was coverage. When you would try to call them on the radio or talk to them, it would be a bunch of static. You wouldn't hear anything. A lot of times in certain parts of the area, it would be muffled, radio would be cut in and out. You were trying to put together the bits and pieces of what they were saying. It was definitely a huge officer safety issue, not being able to clearly hear of what was going on.
I started here in 2011. The radio system at that point, it was excruciating. Constant static in your ear. There was white noise. I would leave every night with a headache, an earache. Now I don't have any of that. The new Harris radio system, we have a lot more interoperability. We can communicate better with Goochland, with Chesterfield, which are 2 of our surrounding jurisdictions, because dispatch can hear better, officers can hear better, firefighters can hear better. It leaves less room for error. We understand exactly what each other's asking for, which better serves them.
They built an infrastructure that was incredible for us, because right now I haven't had a spot in Powhatan where we lose coverage. Anytime we push to talk, whether on a handheld or a mobile radio, it's worked every time. I haven't had any of our folks on the fire and rescue side complain about coverage. For us, it's just a fantastic system that supplanted a previous system that had just aged out and with technology, and we're incredibly thrilled with it here in the fire and rescue side of the world.